taking out of your busy schedule to be here. All right, my name is Rachel Bangura Davis. For those of you who are meeting me for the first time.
We know we're talking.
Okay, I was talking. Okay, my name is Rachel Bangura Davis. For now, we just meet me for the first time, and we belong to this very powerful group, Sierra Leone Women in Politics. And inside Sierra Leone Women in Politics, we have it's a group of different women coming together from different political parties. You know, irrespective of your political beliefs or religious beliefs, we come together, and not just women in politics, but we have all the professional women, like we have doctors, we have activists, and you know, all walks of life in Sierra Leone Women in Politics. And one of the main objective and also the goal now for ensure say we support the women them, we advocate for them, and also empower them. And we don't do that a lot for this we are less than a year old. We started in August, and one of the very first thing we do when we started was when Lara Taylor-Pierce, the Auditor General, was indefinitely suspended by the president. And the group came together, we rallied around, we came together because we see the women are turned quiet. They are afraid to speak, but not all of them are afraid to speak. That's why we have Madam Femi, which, you know, but we see that our women are quiet in Sierra Leone. So we just say, you know what, if they cannot talk, they cannot silence all the women. We serve dinner at the diaspora, we have a voice. So that is why we came together. And one of the first big venture we'll take is to do a virtual protest for Lara Taylor-Pierce. You know, and we know at that time the whole world was behind her, because now women, now women with impeccable character, and we cannot afford we women there when they come up where they're very few at the top for making them bring them candle. So we had a very successful virtual protest, and it was well attended. And from that time, you know, international people they begin to look into Lara's case, and the government said we put pressure, we issue out press release, and we don't do a lot of things again. You know, while Madam Femi too, you know, was spent one day in prison. You know, with other 12 women there, we just go support, you know, because she was invited with Diana Konomani, you know, during the census, where a woman, you know, now in rights for speak out in opinion. We know at this point the country where you cannot speak. You know, they say freedom of speech, but when you speak, you know, side for go at the end of the day. You know, so she was there. They all go support Diana. They all with 12 other women there, and the 12 they released her after one day. And the 12 other women, they're innocent women, they're some are market women and all of that. They're all there for 7 good days in a prison, you know. So we rally around again, Sierra Leone Women in Politics, and put your resources together and help them out when they come out of prison, because we get women from all over the world, including Freetown, you know, and we get strong women in Freetown, including Honorable Balanet Lahai. You know, now we pillar that in Freetown. So she was there and supported these women. So there's so many things we've done, and even on International Women's Day, in fact, you know, because every year we celebrate, but looking at the situation within our country, intimidating our women, the mayor of Freetown, of course, I mean, it's everywhere. I mean, from the day where he take that position, she's been constantly intimidated, harassed, and everything. And we all, of course, we have Madam Femi and Lara, all the women them, you know, where one is the aid na salon, then they try for drawing candle. So this time around, International Women's Day, we say, in as much as we want to celebrate our women, but also we want to do a call of action. You know, so we want to remind the government of them, especially President Bio, of the promises we make to the women of Sierra Leone, say go empower. But we are not seeing the empowerment, we are seeing pulling them down, we're seeing intimidation. So we came together again and do a virtual protest and also celebrate other women them, you know, we don't influence change in the salon. And also we also appeal to the international community. We did a petition, you know, an open letter wherein we talked to the president about all of our women, you know, that has been intimidated, especially strong women in opposition. They've been constantly intimidated. So we sent an open letter to the president and also other international partners and moral guarantors in Sierra Leone. So there's a lot we've done in this short time. We thank God because we have all dedicated members, you know, and like Pastor Kenny say, we only have one goal, is for see Salon better, and for also see that we woman, you know, then at the end of affairs, because we've given the men 60 years, you know. I mean, it's about time when we say give it that space. We know they pull on about, they say no more
vacation.
You know, we are taking us, we sit and we go put them at the table. We take by force. You know, even at the Bible there. All I can talk about, take it by force. The kingdom of darkness.
Suffer by violence.
We are taking our chairs and putting it on the table by force this time around.
Amen to that.
So that is what we are doing. And we thank God that, you know, we have all the support, and, you know, and that is why we are here today. And today, Madam Femi is one of us. You know, we have all the women. We have Mayor Ivona Kisoya is one of us. All the women, you know, they're all part of us. And any side and they would intimidate, and we will stand up like you.
Hallelujah, we shall will.
And we are here to let the women of Sierra Leone, they understand, say, we have their back. Whether you are in politics, whether you are in the bank, whether you are every profession, we have your back this time around. So that's how we got to meet Femi. I have never, you know, don't meet Femi one-to-one. But, I mean, it doesn't matter. Now the connection, you know, the woman thing. And we see how, you know, for at this time, when we have a government that you cannot speak, you know, so I get for go the next day. Or quick and tell you, say, they invite you. But she is one woman where stand up in the quietness of most of our women in Sierra Leone. But she stood up and said, you know, I cannot shut my mouth. And at this time in Sierra Leone, any woman who able to team up and speak against the government, we will applaud that woman, because it's tough for women in Sierra Leone. So that is why I just get connected to Ram. I saw her. I'm like, this is not the woman the way we want in a salon. This is not the woman the way genuinely want to give their service to Sierra Leone. So that's why I just get connected to Ram. You know, I interview her, and from that time, we get this bond, we don't ever meet. And when we create the group, we bring a kind of the group. And from that tending, you know, it go tell una small what's in story. In the beginning, it been feel say it been lonely, and I'm wondering as woman in run this race. But ever since it comes to Sierra Leone women and politics, the game changed for her, because we saw the day behind her, and also with strong women. So at this point, I just want to take this opportunity for introduce with incredible women. Them, these are just part of we. Like I said, we're all over the world. We're UK, we're everywhere. We're Europe and everywhere in Sierra Leone. But these are just small part of freedom where they within the DMV can represent today and can meet Madam Femi. So I'm so excited to introduce, you know, with women there, very supportive, very strong, Madam Dr. Marion. Come on the podium and say.
Am I saying anything?
Oh, just stand so that we see it. So
hello.
Now we pillar them, you know.
For the record, let us see say we get people in BAE.
Yes, this is Dr. Marion, and of course we have our able Dr. Nana.
Yes, Dr. Nana. Dr. Nana is over there.
So Dr. Marion is part of the advisory committee, and Dr. Nana too is part of the advisory committee, and we have Mrs. Alice Williams.
The one and only.
So all of these women, like we say, everybody just inviting company. When this movement started, we started very small. By the time we did that Lara protest, everybody wants to belong. Every woman, okay? I want for come. So women were just inviting all the women. Since we do that Lara protest, because it was very successful. And you know, all the women in a tongue were not able to talk. If you see them jumping in the protest, because they were shocked. That's the first time in history we do that kind of thing. So I am very proud of this group, Sierra Leone Women in Politics, and I want to tell the people of Sierra Leone, and also we, the people in the diaspora, that this time we were starting the women revolution in Sierra Leone.
Amen.
We want to see women at the top of the tickets. Yes. We want to see women at the end of affairs, because it is only when we go there that we'll be able to make decisions for ourselves. It is only when we are there. And like my brother said, now you say, oh, me, I don't mix my politics. You get for mix. Because if you don't mix my politics is for mix by you. Yes. Because when politics mix by you, you go buy petrol 50,000. When politics mix by you, so when politics mix by you, you go buy yes for back 500,000.
That's right.
So this is the thing. So we have to be at the top of the ticket for we make a difference. So we are here to stay, and if you're not giving seats, we go take receipt and put a can at the table. Right. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all, and we can you go into it. Of course, you don't already introduce me.
No, I'll get
a warm introduction again, please, because this is our first time for meeting her too. Yeah. You know,
we are excited.
Yeah, we're so excited.
We are gladinesities in our blood today. If there's an English word.
Khadija is here. I don't know how to see you. Okay, this is Madam Khadija. Come, please, Madam Khadija, we need you. Madam Khadija Sise, you know, now was the executive director of Open Government Initiative during the Anesbai Kurma administration.
Right.
This woman know the mix matters. Even with the APC, then they vex for her because na so he did. He said, now give me job, but when I left me, can do me work. Right. Yeah. So he opened the government to all civil societies, you know, and people they say, hey, you know, APC put you in a position, therefore seek interest. He said, no, when I left me, when I give me position, let her do the right thing. So I'm so happy that she's here. Now Uma way straight in it ben. So I'm so happy. I'm so happy for her. You know, she's here, and you know, it always the give support behind the scene. I want to appreciate you, Madam Khadija. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Let's give a hand applause for the ladies. Well, Shaba, I want to let you put this thing on. Record myself too.
You don't.
Mrs. Femi, when you go to Freetown, Mrs. take, you know, I will call you, tell you again. I want you to take a message to some people, and I don't want to be personal, but I'm going to. I want you to take a message to first our mayor, Yvonne. Tell her, say, in Mama Bono spine, real spine. I met your mother, by the way, in Freetown.
Oh, okay.
I was talking about your sister with somebody that you know.
Okay.
Talking about how good she was. And your mother came, I didn't know it was your mother. I said, Baba, I know that you be. And when they told me who she was, I said, oh, I'm glad I'm not going to talk about what she's beginning. That was like. But tell her, we appreciate her. Just like you, whatever we're going to do to her. You understand? The next person is Lara. Not so beaucoup. They say I talk and do, but Lara, I'm glad how we operate today. He treats them like boys. Not so beaucoup talk. You understand? In our grumble, she knows her job. Now so when Lucifer they want to expose her, it can fail with or get rid of the person who expose her. But it's just time. We have strong women in Sierra Leone. Yes. We have strong women in America. Yes. Mimi mama, now be strong woman. You don't die, oh. But you not married one day. But she lived like a queen. So because of that, I'm dedicating my own life to this women's movement. Because I know people out there going to be saying, oh, waiting, Pastor Ken, oh, now waiting, I'm happily married, everybody. My wife is enough. She went to the animals. She's beautiful and elegant, so I let her look for a woman. But the reason why men are coming here is so that we go help build Sierra Leone that we own. And Aja Fatu Takina FBC, we can watch them. Yesterday night I be the watch Velnora and the other one. And so many other women. Una all yourself. Mama, engage them. This is not about APC, SLPP. I will change the trajectory where they go. So, without further ado,
yes,
ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce the Moses. Let us introduce the Nehemiah. Let us introduce the Esther of our days, the one and only Femi Claudius-Cole.
First, my namesake, I want to say a big thank you to you.
Welcome.
Christy,
Yes, darling.
you pray I go through me like where currents they go through me.
Hallelujah.
It hits the spot. I want to say a very big thank you to you.
Amen.
I want to talk about Rachel, but I want to let her first.
I was speaking. You will talk about that later.
I want for just build up to why I want to let her first talk about Rachel. 2015, it was like 2 a.m. I tell the story and it looks like I made it up. And I didn't. I woke up about 2 or 3 in the morning. Leone had been on my mind throughout Ebola. And I may not engage a couple of people for say, about political parties. I actually spoke with Aliyu. I said, if we really think about starting a political party, come on. Eventually he said, yeah, Femi, I think it's a good idea. So we did the fundraising and everything. And then we met. And then he brought the news to me that he wants to be flag bearer for the APC. I'm like, Aliyu, why don't we form a new party? He says, it's impossible. You can't. Say, I don't have 2 party party. It can't work. And at 2 a.m. that morning, that middle of the night, I suddenly woke up and it's as if something said to me, you can do it, go do it. You can do it. At that point, I said, I go free tongue for good, and everybody thought I was cuckoo for cocoa puffs. And I got to Freetown and I decided at the register party, everybody thought I was crazy. I thought it was going to be simple. And then I realized that forming a political party is tougher than having twin boys.
Wow.
You start with a movement and then you go into a political party. It was not a pleasant experience at all. The system is cumbersome. The system is not user-friendly. The goal is to frustrate you into stopping, as those who started C4C will verify. But eventually, we got our movement registered. To get our political party registered, eventually we got registration 2017. And that was because the NGC had pulled strings for theirs. And they were about to give NGC, and they realized that I was in line ahead of NGC. So they had no choice but to give me mine along with NGC's. And everybody said, for someone they would ask me, whose election you want on again? This? It can be. But I am proud to say we did it. I don't know how. I don't know where the money came from. At the end of elections, I owed no one a dime. I didn't have an endowment anymore. My pension in America was cashed. But I didn't owe a single person, not one Leone. And once the first round had been run, I went on IRN and I spoke. And it was that first interview on IRN that was my springboard. Because the host election net, where they call the results, that now the first round, so if you like a person, don't say person die, we all man they can't tell us for them. This one can. I'm like, hello, I lost an election. My children are safe. My family is safe. I only lost an election. Now me turn Cox and Chief. I begin by your old man. So the prediction was, we see don't lost, so they disappear. I will not hear what I do. And at that moment, I was determined. Waiting I go so Politics 101. We are getting ready. Now I have my PhD. No, I have a master's. In politics, yes. From University of Sierra Leone. I had no lecturers. I was just taught by the people. So I decided, why am I in politics? I entered into politics because one time they were me playing land na salon Canada, and I look the country and I'm like, what the hell? This is what greets you when you get off the plane from wherever you're coming from. Nigeria, where you come, it's like, really? What's missing? Women are missing. So even after the election, I decided, say, I will not die. My party will not die. I will continue to engage. And once I made that determination, I can tell you honestly, I had very little support other than the people in the party and a few friends, few family, and people in the villages who said, I'm going to go do medical. I didn't feel. I'm a member of the Wesley Church. People will come on church, avoid for make eye contact with me. Almost as if I was now a leper. Side streets and they put their head up as they see me, they come because they did not vote for me. But then I carried on the engagement and the advocacy. I continued advocating, and look, the issue then has salon, it burn you to your soul. The sheer injustices is everywhere. I decided I can't quit. I'm in for a penny, I'm in for a pound. I'm not a quit. But I always felt alone. Now I want to fast forward to an event that happened when Johnson Sirleaf came. I was invited by Yvonne has always, their mother was my friend. I never knew the kids. Their mama na be me opadi. But then I realized that Yvonne was being victimized left, right, and center.
That's right.
So I decided I am going to support this woman no matter what. So whatever then they go for go bully and I did it. When Ellen Johnson Sirleaf came, she invited me. And I go to these functions with the elite women. And I sit in my small corner. It is almost as if, sometimes I used to feel like I was almost like an embarrassment. You know what I mean? I always felt isolated. I didn't have support. I didn't feel at that time I had support from the women. I had almost 0.1% support from the Creole community. None.
What's new?
So I just felt, Femi, you defend for that no get voice. You don't defend for letting cap for you. You don't defend for letting you medal. So you don't know you corner and do you walk. And that's all I did. I traveled up country after elections, I mean. Until that day, when Ellen Johnson Sirleaf came. And Yvonne invited me. I went and sat outside. I never feel like I am a part of them. Technically, historically, I should be an elite woman. But I've never felt like I belonged. I will reach to that part. Probably why I feel I didn't belong. This dress was new for you. These outfits were new for you because me are casual. Thank you, Auntie Rachel. And they put me on secrets now. So, Ellen Johnson came. I said, don't know. And then they were calling us to go sit. And I said, who's stay with me there? And I was told I was at the high table.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Only appointed by God.
And I go, I sit down at that table there. I felt as if somebody had lifted me up off the ground.
The same.
Fabian Swill was the MC. And the whole theme was women and stuff like that. And Fabian said, talking about women supporting women and women's empowerment. How many of you, this was a room full of all elite women.
Yep.
And Fabian said, how many of you here voted for Miss Claudius-Cole? So, two.
Wow. Yep.
One was Marian Morgan, her mother. The second was Fabian Swill herself. And then Ellen Jensen spoke. She spoke. Since that day, I read the 23rd Psalm every day.
It's your shepherd, yeah.
Because Usaya Sidon, I felt like I had won the lottery. I had won the lottery. She spoke and she turned to me and she said, thank you that you tried. Thank you that you dared. Thank you that, Usaya Sidon, I'm like, oof. I had goosebumps. Then give me food, want me place, and then we eat, me Femi, and then we eat. I was just full of emotion. And there were pictures with her and I. And people been affected themselves for photographs. And I just opened that last door. And I texted Fabian Swill. I said, thank you for this picture. Thank you for the MC. I said, you made a difference. And then I decided that Yvonne Akisoya, she doesn't even know this. If her sister were to tell her, it would be the first time she's hearing this. I said, Yvonne, you know what you say? I owe you one, I owe 100. For her, it was probably just a simple invitation. A simple acknowledgement, but it meant the world to me. I can sit down in the office the day after and it trembled so. And I called Rachel. I said, Rachel, I was honored today. Boy, was I honored today.
You deserve it.
But nobody had acknowledged it. Do you know what I mean? And not that I'm waiting or craving acknowledgement, but that just, it changed me. And then when I was arrested, and I was arrested because waiting the while I say and not say, the census has flaws from beginning to end. It's a flawed census. It is not credible. It cannot be used in any country for anything to do with development. And I said it. And they were upset with me for saying it. And I was very emphatic. I did not beat around the bush. I went straight to the point, and I gave my reasons why. But also they no more make their next from you. We then wrote a letter. Now, I am the chairperson of COP. So I signed all the letters. And I called on Black Monday that we were going to go. I called the World Bank director. I said, we want to come and see you. And they said, sure. We go there, we tell them about the census, who side then they go, who side then they come out, and waiting they go lead to. He spoke to us diplomatically. On Thursday, he announced they were pulling their finances. So in their eyes, and this their trouble. And they don't catch and Coco have bust his scalp.
Okay.
So that was where that animosity came from. And when I got to the interview, I said, she asked me, you the can't interview me. You are the interrogator, you are interrogating me. What did you say on 98.1? I said, you mean you don't have a transcript? I think that would be interrogation 101.
Oh, well.
I said, I think you should have a transcript. Whatever I said on the radio is what I meant. Go around. Now go inside it. I said the census was flawed. I explained all things the reason. No, before that. Now you say, well, then they come. And they all got up and left. She's asking me questions. Listen to this. If the World Bank gives you a directive, and the EU gives you a directive, and the statute, Sierra Leone statute tells you one directive, which will you obey? I said, it's not a question of obedience. It isn't a question of obedience. The World Bank will never come to me with Claudius-Cole, we want to do a census. I said, they will go to the government, they will go through those channels, and then the government should interface with us as political parties, and we come about. That answer they in one area. The one let I talk say, I don't know what you wanted. And I say, honey, you cannot ask me the question and then feed me the answer. You cannot.
Use your game.
I said, me not going for SSG school. I go Osora.
Exactly. Me too. Me too. We went to Anti-Paris.
So you cannot feed me both the question and the answer.
That's
So
right.
they have someone now. All the lawyers then they can tell me. Slow down. I'm vexed. By that time I'm sitting at the edge of my chair. I'm ready for any stupid question. Now they begin lost one. They went to the Attorney General, and the Attorney General told them to lock me up.
Wow.
So they came back. They kind of like came just one bus cry. Ambassador had it together. They listened foot turned to jelly. And I went to them and I whispered, what doesn't kill you makes you strong. Yes. Not a dog then they did, not a man. And that's where I left. And I went to the cell. They had me in open detention. I began to interact with the prisoners in one day. Out of about 10 or 11 of them, the women, only one deserved to be there. The other, all an advantage. They had no business being arrested. Some don't did 7 days, some don't did 5 days. One Pekin, that's it. It cry. She was uncoaxable. We don't buy you, we don't coax her. She could not stop bawling. That was not crying, it was bawling. Then the jailman, they went down. Jesus. Bam, 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 bam. Then they call some kind of bad word. Bam, 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 bam. All the time. My first visitor was Leone. She came up. They don't take all your phone, Diane. Anyway, she had one. Now he come, we talk. When they get it for left, I call the prisoners, the woman. If you saw it, they're glad for her. If they were all over her, in the holidays, in the oh my goodness. Now I say, they pray for you. You're not getting nothing for left. If they pray for you, they take your handbag, they take all this. Now I give them the gift. You pray for me. Pray for me. And that's it, they never cry. Then she left to go down. And when again, now they pray for the bandit. No. Even they pray me here, the eyes on me body. If they pray me here, the eyes on me body. And the prisoners, yang, said okay.
Wow. No cussing.
No banging on the cell, yang.
That was Paul and Silas.
Yang.
We are good.
No, when you are gifted with prayer, you are
Oh,
gifted.
yes.
Yeah.
The morning when we wake, and then I kill me pass out. The prisoners then begin to shout. I don't know which shouts. Praise and worship. I'm like, unbelievable. If I wasn't here, I would say it didn't happen. And she left. Other dignitaries came, one after the other, they came. At probably about midnight. I don't survey the area. I said, well, Femi, this now for sit down and chair for sleep. Anyway, I'm like, I can do this. So I don't feel one corner. I don't ring. All of a sudden, the night shift security came and literally dragged me off the chair. And dragged me into a cell and literally pushed me back up inside the cell. First, I don't kill first. I said, why you push me to this? I not thief, I not kill. Why? And then I'm like, you know what, Femi, just go inside this man for Christ's sake. And then I go into the cell. I lock all the gates then. I sit down now on the concrete. I have my back against the wall. After a while, you acclimatize to the darkness. It is pitch black. Pitch black. But after a while, you acclimatize. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, the first microphone where they put front me mouth, IG Sabola, and I begin planning with I get for say. I said, now the while they catch her, if you know you tired, you know you tired. I come on there, I go fast on the general. And they cost there now. And they plot and plan. We had to do bam. I said, no, they were solid. I said, nasty, nonsense. Why don't vex? Nobody know there for explain the vex to. Now begin laugh now. I laugh myself. See, I go into a spell back where I'm talking bitter. Anger. And then I sit down there and I watch now. I don't look. I feel na concrete something where they put some dirty plastic pan. Then I watch now. They see all the small cockroach. They only pass now the wall. Then they walk and then they pass down. I say, okay. Alright. Place hot. The sweat will burn you, Kanda. I watch. I say, okay. Where they lock me? I tell them, I say, I go for the go wet fast. You go give bucket. I said, okay, we're going to face the bucket. So apparently, she went back now to the open detention and met the ladies there. And then the prisoners, they begin telling the guard who I was. They said, "Now, so you only it." After you got I come on at the cell. Mommy call. Mommy call, I mean, you say you want to use bathroom. Mommy call, I mean, you say you want was. Now you go, they tell the other one, then I open detention, say, Mommy, not the green answer. Say, he come back. Mommy call. Say, eventually, BC sends toiletries for me. So, now he say, Mommy call, they don't send things them for you for what, man? They don't send things them for you for what? When the team don't mourn and that's for grab, I go to the cell domot. I know
darkness.
Then I open the cell now, it can't say. I said, put outside you want put. I put and I go on. Put to me make because the mosquitoes. So basically don't put the repellent. Yeah? Now let me watch myself first with the repellent. The repellent plus the heat is a very bad combination. Wow. It is like throwing acid on your skin. And the way I mean, toilet myself with time because I thought, so me can that burn it pepper. And then after a while, when I still rise. Then I see in two other people then come inside. And head of CID say, for then you go back now open detention. This is me now. Tell the head of CID, thank you, but I'm very comfortable where I am. Comfortable, not me. No, I said, I'm very comfortable. Tell him thank you. I said, this is supposed to be punishment, right? This is supposed to teach me a lesson, right? I'm going to suffer with it. Go tell the head of CID, I said, no, thank you.
That's good.
It's a man I can with Kaburu. Now you have no concept of time. You don't know if now 1 hour later, 2 hours later, whether they go back to tell them. I don't know. Mommy call. One week. When are you picking them, Bonnie? Yes, ma'am. Now I said, tell me, how old are you? You will push me back go inside. I said, tell me how old are you? He said, I want 34. I said, you're picking big for you. I said, you know, they tell you. He let now more than a day before you. Treat her like a motor man. I said, treat her like a motor man. and you go treat a dog. And I have committed no crime. I said, so next prisoner, when you get cause for law, I said, all you been get for do, and you call be a new.
And it's in the job.
I said, I've been for gladdy for you. I keep you company. I take your number. You take me on. I said, but you push me. I said, not going to no other human being again. I beg you. By that time, now we can have the roast like hog. That's all right. So now we'll go. Now, as well as we pray, I cannot go. I can't sleep now. And that was my experience. And under normal circumstances, before silent women in politics, I would have felt like nobody not busy. I can tell you, I said, if they lock me, nobody not get for candle. Nobody not get for busy, no, because right now nobody not busy but me. But the outpouring of concern, the phone calls, everybody. Then they will get connection, then they will not get connection. And, you know, before they even brought me out of the cell, I said, don't they, now they think to my epiphany, my turning point, was where I sit down inside that cell. I don't go through the bitterness, anger, you know, all that. Then, out of the blue, don't ask me from where it came, Nancy Mandela jumped into my head. Now I said to myself, I didn't talk to myself. I said, Femi, that man is 27 years. You all this nonsense. You want to come here with all this bitterness. What kind of a human being will you be at the end of it? That was when I just said, you know what? They do this because they don't know any better. You can only do better when you know better. So everybody was shocked by my attitude when I even came out. I said, I tell Una thank you, because Una don't teach me lesson. Now I know what's the worst that you can do to me, and I'm not afraid. But the truth, I will tell you. So for me, silent women and politics was a turning point.
Praise God.
It was a huge turning point. Now when he meets me, my first call is Rachel. Now they give me words of encouragement. Now they give me words of advice. When my vice resigned and all that developed after that, I go meet Rachel. And then, you know, she had resigned and then she re-resigned and, you know, I go meet Rachel. I said, look, Rachel, I forwarded the letter to Rachel. I said, please, Rachel, read this letter. This letter wasn't written to me. It was written for the press. She wants to bring me down. What have I done? I said, Auntie Rachel, I will let you talk to Madam. Anything I don't do, I will apologize in print. I will apologize in person. I will apologize on TV. Just put me down. For Christ's sake, I'm not in competition with anybody. I hand over the matter to Rachel. We call Auntie Bani, we talk to her. We call Auntie Majex, Walker, we talk to her. It was after that my sister do the good way you do to me. And I was okay. I phoned Rachel back. I said, must stop all intervention. I don't let me kiss God.
Amen.
I don't say anything. Don't say anything. Let it just die of natural causes. Waiting God mark. So when they pick me now for can be the chairperson for the consortium, till tomorrow. What's the consortium? The consortium is political parties all coming together. Initially, we came together over one issue, the decentralization policy, where they want pull political parties come up and local council election. They want pull we come up and local council election and institute an education minimum for councillors of 3 WASC. MPs can only read and write. Presidents can only read and write. Councillors must have 3 WASC. And I said there's something wrong with this picture somewhere.
Yeah.
So we can have a stupid fool for a president. I'm not accusing anybody. But we cannot then expect the local people to have what you guys need and don't have.
So fair.
So now that's now the first fight. So we came together to fight that battle. We're not done that battle Leone and come on now with cybercrime bill, where the minister can determine your punishment. He can determine your fine. He can determine how long you go to jail. I said, wow. Who wrote this bill? Now pick up that fight the back.
Yes, money. How are you?
We scarcely they done that day. And then he came back up with the census. So it got to a point where it made sense for us to stay together. And that's how the consortium was born. How I was chosen chairperson, I really don't know. It just happened. And then they voted. And then they said it was me. And I believe strongly that that was God's intervention. I believe strongly. Why? Because you're dealing with egos and testosterone. Scattered all over the place. And I am coming from a point where all I want to see is a Sahel that functions. I said, one thing I have learned in being in the intensive care for this many years, if you sleep on one bed, you're okay. If you drive one car, you're okay. This is not the age of traveling anymore. Those days are gone. So all you need is less than what you think you need. So for me, getting into that position, initially I took the chairmanship of COP lightly. Man or lie. I just felt, okay, chairman, hold on for me. Now one guy, Sam Foy, Sam called me. No, he came to Peter. Reverend Sam Foy. He said, Femi, later they say, he said, you see this chairmanship of COP? I want you to hold it as if it is the most important job you have ever been given.
Yeah.
He said, there are people's lives that will depend on how you perform. Yes, he told me that in my own house. That was almost 2 or 3 weeks before his wife died. They came together. He said, I want you to hold this position seriously. And when he tell me, I go back as Chidom, I think. From that day, I wake up in the morning, before I leave my family group, I read what's going on in the COP group. I take everything COP seriously. I'm not a postponement for do tomorrow for today. Anything that has to do with COP, I'm full speed ahead. And then I realized there are parties that are fractured. Now they come with it. I said, this election, we're going to have one presidential candidate. We know the facts. We are not fighting. I don't tell them, we they go on a retreat. I want the remotest village in the remotest place to say another. We are going to argue. We are going to fight. We go cost ourselves and we'll come away with one candidate. And we are all going to be in total support of that one candidate. So when we meet them, we met APC's NAC. When I go meet NAC, I said, I want to tell the entire consortium an amazing thanks for the honor and the privilege given to me to be the chairperson. I say, I stand in your midst. Here, my qualification is that of somebody who just take MPSC. You guys are PhD holders in politics. I said, so I'm coming from a position of a little simplicity. I'm not thinking backroom deals, boardroom deals. None of that. Are we going to be able to come together? Are we going to be able to share power? Are we going to be able to listen to each other? Are we going to come into power to make a difference? We have to make a difference the moment of inauguration. The country should feel different. People should know something different. Because imagine that the most remote village should have that sense that there is hope. That something is happening. Better. Something different is happening. I said, so one, the battle is to win the election. I said, but it doesn't stop there. That's the easy part. We must govern.
Yes.
We must govern. Just let the country make sense, for Christ's sake. Can we beg our way to eternity?
No.
I mean, are we going to be able to sit together and make decisions? I don't want that kind of coalition where you be minister of this, you be minister of that. I don't go to ministry, I'm supposed to carry out command and be now. No, we're going to engage throughout. We're going to be involved throughout. So when we meet, when we have that retreat, luckily for me, I fear only God. Even cockroaches I used to fear, I fear no more. I say you go for your own business, you go for your own. And I don't fear no more. So I will tell them the truth. I speak truth to all of them. And the day I can tell them, the day where I am going to radio announce that I am no more a member of COP, that means there is no hope. The other day we had a press conference, they give money, online give money. And press conferences cost us depends on how many media come, 5 million, 3 million, depends. Now I know COP doesn't have money because I manage the money for COP. So I manage you media, whose house? I don't see you paper the last day, you know, they publish. You, whose house? Okay, you, Concord Times. Oh no, Concord Times, so now they publish. They come, they take your money and they don't publish.
Oh.
Yes.
They do that all the time.
So me now, I sabi the MO. So they all donated, APC donated, all man donate. So I had all this money. I think I had 4.5 million. I scream some of them, press men out. Well, where you can next them. Okay, this publish, where you publish next them, bring copy can I copy.
Yeah, that's the best.
So I had 1,500,000 left. The last person they give me money was APC. I called parents and the parents said, I got money left for the grand camp. And I sent my secretary and I returned his 1,500,000. And the other members of COP. Let me do it. And I said I returned it. Because I didn't need it.
Yes.
So they are comfortable. Because they know.
If not man, if you don't eat her. So now that is how we are operating. We're getting integrity.
But the beauty of COP and why I think that COP is something that we should all support. Leading up to the coalition, all I have done is read about coalitions. What can go wrong, where things have gone wrong. And the key area we are zeroing on is the president winning and forgetting that he has a commitment to the other members.
Yeah.
That is the reason why a lot of the coalitions have failed. That and no document can supersede the Constitution. Because the Constitution tells you, and he says, it has pleased His Excellency. That's how you know you're fired, when he has pleased His Excellency to appoint somebody else. So people encourage me, like you came for me today and said, whatever job they give you, accept it. My attitude is, don't give me a job. Because when you don't give me a job, guess what? You can fire me.
Yes, that's true.
And I don't need your job to eat.
True.
But I tell them jokingly, I say, I want, when I call the president, whether he's making love with his wife or not, he picks up the phone. Because I'm telling you something critical. Yes. I don't want you to be invisible. Where, President, where? Where are you, Mr. President? Sierra Leone is burning. We can find you. So, but if you don't pay me, you can't fire me.
Yes.
So if I am ever reluctant to take a job, that's my reason. And I just want to make sure, and I watch, to make sure. But again, God has your destiny. whatever God says to happen, and also when you load it, you kata.
Always.
So I am in a state of I will follow who I need to follow for as long as that person is going in the right, not new direction. New direction. There's a disclaimer. Yeah. I'm telling you direction. I'm telling you Google. So as long as somebody is going in the right direction and taking the country in the right direction. So we're in the process now of really engaging people on how we can do things better. Because my thing is, we're not a wait say inauguration. Oh Lord, I'm asking, you do this or that? Oh, no, we almost need to have a shadow parliament, a shadow cabinet. Yeah. Whereby now if I don't know what direction do we want to take our health, what direction do we want to take our minds, what direction do we want to take environment, what environment, which direction do we, our education system is the hottest, biggest mess. Because it is the saddest case that you're telling us, and I tell them all the time, the quality will not enter free education by osmosis, not by diffusion. You have to put it in there. There's no infrastructure, no toilet, no electricity, no water, no lab, no books, no libraries, no computer, no nothing. And you're telling us free quality education. We'll tell her to the man go take any particular with you. So that is where I want to seek up. And for now, I am proud to be a COP member. Very proud. I hear the conversations, I participate in the conversation, and I see commitment. So for
all of a sudden,
and this win in Koya, I was so proud of the NGC.
Yes.
Proud of the NGC. I said, if we have a candidate, we are competing against ourselves. I begin to slap myself and I don't care me what you see. I went at home. So we cannot be seen to be fighting against ourselves. Yeah. We can't. It makes no sense. But one thing that we have said to the APC, we respect your size, we respect your age, but you have to share. Yeah. You have to share. If you are not going to share, we're going to have a problem. But one thing I tell the members of COP, anybody who thinks that by us winning, they've won the jackpot, wrong idea. There are those within COP that I will not give, that I will not support in certain areas. So una no go vex for me. I can tell you, if now sack me now. Because now I see the enthusiasm increasing in everybody. Now I say, oh, now the bug beats you. This bug beat me a while ago. before CID, before the cockroaches, this bug beats me. So now everybody can see they can see the possibility. Yes. They can see the possibility in having a government
for the people.
Local identified. Limba identified. Who identified. Fuller identified. Yes. We all own it. Yes. And this, when the secretary go now, you building, they talk me, they talk, I say, I know they say, what you can fend here. Yes. So that has to stop. And one thing that I am stressing now is the consortium has to embrace the SLCP. Not the power part, but the SLPP. Yes. Because we are not going to be a president just for the members of COP, but for the SLPP too. Except they buy pepper 10,000 for COP. Yes. When they have a simple illness, they die. Yes. So we have to make a distinction. And we have to go where our first road trip is going to be to the south. For now, we're in this together. There will be no mass sackings. Sack all man, what's your coming, you're fired. Once you're coming, you're fired. Those days have to be behind us.
Right.
And I tell them, as small as Sierra Leone is, well, let me show Africa how to do this thing. Oh, diamond is there, timber is there, fish is there, mountain is there, rivers is there. Why are we begging? Why are we constantly begging? And then we take our prime land and we give it away. Chinese, are you looking for land? How many acres would you like? 230? It's yours.
25
For $50 million?
Yes.
Chicken change.
Yes.
Chicken change. Or do you want to run the ferries? Only all our market people use the ferries. You can have the ferries, we'll build the bridge.
Yes.
Our ferries are gone. Now, they're not only 2 people. Now they're Turkish. Yes!
After the electricity.
Yes! The ship, they don't and force. Non-payment.
Money not there.
So, there are world shocks. Yes. But then there's planning.
Yes.
So we want to see a government that will think, that will dialogue, that will consult, that will collaborate. Standing a bad word for them. What do you think? Is this a good idea?
Yes.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
For as long as COP stays on the path that COP is going, I am 100. Why can not talk down? My sister can say, well, today then they arrest you back. Today it is. So I have a pouch, I have a fanny pack. Inside there, I have a spare knicker, I have I get me to wash, I get me to size. I have my kids. So as soon as I am taking, my sister does go to take that one fanny pack. I can wash, I can do everything.
Wow.
Yes, and this one recently, I just posted on my Twitter page. I said, I said the first lady stood in the middle of a crowd and accused or made an accusation that was an outright lie. I said, Mr. IG, you seem to be confused as to what is incitement. This, sir, was incitement.
Yes.
No invitation.
No.
And there was
There was the able to.
Yeah, but you're saying that was the.
She did. It was that because look, there's a video going around who said they stop one tankard, they stop one government bus. These boys are angry.